Welcome to Folktale Fridays. Today's story will be The Quest of Tai Ji. A long time ago, in a land far away, I set out on a quest to start my fresh day. Along the path I found a bird, a little sparrow bright, and then I pulled upon his little tail to set my journey right. I pulled and pressed and pressed and pulled, and the little bird whipped me on my way. And then I raised my hands to heaven, and I became a great white crane. I spread my wings and brushed my knee to play my lute with glee. A brigand came and yelled at me for creating such a din, but I stepped up and parried his blow and punched him with a grin. And so the day was closing, and I was mighty tired too. So I made camp at the close of day to rest and be with you. The one, the real, the great spirit, the great mystery. When I awoke, I there beheld a tiger fierce to see, but I crossed my hands and embraced him, and returned him to his mountain free. So I continued on my travels, and some monkeys I did see. The monkeys wanted my food that I had, but with my fist under elbow, I repulsed them all and was glad. After the monkeys all scurried away, I raised my hand as a crane and flew far, far away. I flew through the sky, over the ocean, brushing my knee as I went, and then I saw a needle at the bottom of the sea. I dove down, down, down below and scooped it up for me. Along the path another brigand, who tried to steal my new-gained prize. So with fan through my back, I turned and chopped my opponent with fist. With a step up, parried and punched, and then I saw that sparrow again, so I reached out and grasped its haunch. And away he whipped me along through the clouds, gliding we did sail, until I was whipped along on the high part of a foal. I separated my feet, and then spun and kicked with my soul. I brushed off my knees and gave myself ease. Then bandits steadily approached. I stepped up, parried and punched downward, and punched them with a fist, until they got really seriously pissed. So I stepped up, parried and punched, and kicked them with my right soul. I totally missed, and the kick landed on a rock, creating a hole, and out came two tigers bold. I tamed one tiger to the right, which gave an awful fright, then turned and tamed another one, next driving him out of sight. With my right foot I kicked them with my soul, and pierced both tigers with my fists through their ears, making them both cry many tears. Then kicked them left and kicked them right once again, stepped up, parried, then punched. The tigers were now fully gone, and the sun was beginning to set, so I set out and made camp and retired. Tomorrow would be even bigger yet. When I awoke once again, I woke to a dreadful surprise, for the tiger had returned and wanted revenge. His anger lit up my eyes. So I embraced him again and carried him back to his lair. Then my sparrow friend came, and I pulled upon his tail, till I flew to a lea where wild horses roamed, wild and free. A crack of a whip, and I parted the manes of 3 horses, so I would gain further speed in my quest. The sparrow returned again, and flew to the village that I dearly loved best. Then I spied a maiden fair, a-weaving at her loom. She wove left and right again, then left and right again, till sparrow came for me once more, and whipped me through the clouds, so fast I landed on the floor. I saw a snake creep down a hill, so I stood as a cock on one leg. The monkey saw me once again and charged at me with a rake. I stepped up and repulsed them all and gave them a mighty shake. They had a fall down the hill, and I crept down and up like that snake. Then I raised my hands and flew away as a crane again, and brushed my knee and dove again into the sea to retrieve another pin. I fanned back their snake attack, who came out and spit out his tongue. I pulled and pressed and pressed and pushed and whipped them through the clouds. Then I came across a wild horse and patted him on the head. We became the best of friends, and he led me to his shed. A bandit came to steal him away, so I turned and crossed and kicked with heel and spun and punched him into the hay. My sparrow friend flew down from the sky and took me without a care, and whipped me through the air. Away we flew as the wind gently blew, for flying was our fate. Then dropped me to land, where I crept down like a snake and rose up again and touched the 7 stars of the gate. I retreated back and rode my tiger, for it is not to waste much time. We then crept through a field of lotus, making our feet truly shine. The tiger grew weary of my weight, and the fact I'm terrible at rhyme. He shrugged me off and roared. Then I took my bow and let an arrow grow straight into its jaw at gold. The tiger tried to claw one more time, but I stepped up, parried, and punched him fine, landing him quite dead. After that I settled down, I made camp, and happily went to bed. The end. And that was the story of the Quest of Tai Ji.